Which Soul game do you think is the best? In this video, I'll be ranking the Soulsborne series from worst to first. These are just my opinions, so let's discuss and get into the video.
Hey, Golly!
Hornet, this video's not even about you. Let's get into it. At number 7, we have Demon Souls, which came out in 2009 on the PS3, in which I never played the original version. I did play the remake on PS5 and I absolutely loved it. By this time I was already a Souls vet, so the game felt easier, but still difficult at times. Magic is OP in this game, and on my first playthrough as a mage build, I was blazing through this game. This was probably the fastest I've ever beaten a Souls game on my first playthrough. By no means is this game bad, but it is the worst in my opinion compared to the other Souls games. Still worth the playthrough if you have not played this one yet. At number 6, we have Dark Souls Remastered. The same with Demon Souls. I did not play the original Dark Souls. I did watch my brother play this on his PC and wondered, what is so fun about dying over and over again? If I only knew then what I know now, I had a blast playing this game. Again, I was a Souls vet by the time I played Dark Souls Remastered, and connecting the things I saw in Dark Souls 3 to the original Dark Souls made me appreciate the story so much more. I died so many times in this game, but got so good that even Gwen wasn't even a challenge. How the map is connected is by far one of the best in the series. You can go through the entire game without using one bonfire. The DLC in this game, while short, was an amazing experience. Love you always, Sif. At number 5, we have Dark Souls 2. This is my introduction into the Souls games, and boy oh boy wasn't an experience. Learning how to manage stamina, how to dodge, and then attack. My world was blown open with this game. Not knowing where to go and defeating enemies 13 times each just so I can make sure they don't respawn. My first playthrough was difficult. I did not know I had to go through the Forest of Giants first, and instead I went through High's Tower of Flame first, which made it an extremely difficult first playthrough. I feel Dark Souls 2 map is underappreciated. The map is very interconnected. You can get to a lot of the places without the need of a bonfire. Also, Dark Souls 2 is the only game that changes with New Game Plus. Not only do the enemies get stronger, but some areas they add enemies, and then there's some areas where bosses appear outside their arenas. I can go on and on about my love for Dark Souls 2. I feel like Dark Souls 2 get a lot of unnecessary hate, but I am biased because this is my introduction to the Souls games. So I did not have any previous experience with the first Dark Souls when I played this one. So Dark Souls 2 holds a special place in my heart. This game got me addicted to the whole Souls-like series. And we ain't even touch on the DLC. Let me know down in the comments if you would like to see a video about me talking about Dark Souls 2 DLC. I think Dark Souls 2 DLC is a masterpiece. Now wait, before you hit the dislike button, I sank so many hours into Elden Ring, and I love this game to death. If you've been a Souls fan for as long as I have, you may have noticed that Elden Ring embodies all of the previous Soul games and make it work. Elden Ring feels like Dark Souls 4, and that's not a bad thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Elden Ring is damn near perfect as a Souls game. Exploring the lands between was such an epic experience. Being able to conquer bosses alone and also with friends was exhilarating. This game opened the world to new Souls fans, and now they can get good like we've been doing for years. Hopefully there'll be DLC to expand the story. If you have skipped any of the other Souls games, then I ask you to go play them. It would allow you to appreciate those other titles. Without them, there is no Elden Ring. At number 3, we have Dark Souls 3. Out of all the Souls games, Dark Souls 3 is my absolute favorite. First Souls game I got at release date, called off work and played this game for an entire day. This is also the only Souls game I completed 100%. I was on New Game 17 before I decided I needed to play something else. I was addicted to this game. The weapon arts were introduced in this game, also added another element to the combat. For those loving the Ashes of War feature in Elden Ring, well, it started here. Made you want to try additional weapons because testing out the weapon arts made the combat that much more fun. Now the map wasn't connected at all in this game. You pretty much needed a bonfire to warp to any location. Some of my favorite boss battles are in this game. Fighting the Abyss Watchers for the first time had my heart racing. Even though I was on New Game 17, I only beat Madeir once, but we don't got to talk about that. Sekiro almost made it to number 1, but I could not put it over Bloodborne at this time. This game gave me hell when I first booted it up. Trying to relearn not to dodge and just stand there and parry. I sucked at parrying, but this game made me get good. I still have not completed this game, but I'm currently playing through it on this channel, so subscribe if you want to see some of that content. Sekiro only takes skills. You can't overlevel for a boss to go one-shot them. Now you can cheese some of these bosses, but even that takes some set of skills. This game is hard, but if you take the time to learn what this game is trying to teach you, then you will feel like a shinobi that cannot die. I can't wait to finally beat this game. I hope some DLC come out for this game, but it did come out in 2019, so I don't think that will happen. Who knows? Maybe after I beat this game, I could place it in the #1 spot. My top ranking for the Soulsborne games goes to the one and only Bloodborne. I did not like this game at first. The horror aspect turned me off and the game was hard. So dying all the time plus creepy monsters turned me off. I left this game on the shelf for an entire year. After being bored and needing something to play, I turned this game back on and fell in love. I mastered the parry mechanic, which made the game much more manageable. The trick weapons are still some of the best weapons in this series. The Hunter DLC is some of the most challenging feats I had to ever overcome to this day. I still have nightmares from the Orphan of Kaz. I fought this boss for days, and when I finally defeated him, the rush of joy that came over me was massive. This is why I say Sekiro could easily be #1 once I beat the game, as I have not fought all the bosses yet. But as of today, Bloodborne is still my top ranking Soulsborne game. If you made it this far in the video, please do the things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Do you agree with my rankings? How would you rank the Soulsborne games? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear what your favorite Soulsborne game is. Y'all be terribly great, and we out.